On today's spooky spot, we're going to be having a look at Diamond Select Toys Minimates, and this is the Ghostbusters Toys R Us exclusive Dr. Peter Venkman and Energized Terrordog. Ooh, I'm excited. Before we actually open this guy up, let's get a look at the packaging. As you can see, we have Peter Venkman and the Terrordog. Very, very nice. Not really much, but it's nice at least that they got the pictures down at the bottom there. And on either side, you can see both Peter Venkman and the Energized Terrordog. On the back of the packaging, the entire wave, I believe this is wave 2, the entire wave consists of the 3 Ghostbusters, at least in their Ghostbusters attire. We then have Egon Spangler in his lab coat attire. Jogging Ghost, we have Slimer, we have the Zombie Taxi Driver, and we have Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and of course the, if I hadn't already mentioned it, the Terrordog as well. Bit of a read up down below. It says Dr. Peter Venkman, or Peter Venkman, the often overconfident leader of the Ghostbusters, Dr. Peter Venkman, did not truly believe in ghosts and the paranormal until seeing the library ghost with his own eyes. Now his ability to convince people of almost anything comes in very handy. As for the Terrordog, the Energized Terrordog, it says worshipped by the Hittites. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. Mesopotamians and Sumerians for eons. The entity known as Gozer uses his demigod minions to locate and possess suitable human hosts. Dana and Lewis only barely escaped, spending eternity as Zool and Vince Clortho. So there you go. Of course, collect them all. So there is packaging on both Peter Venkman and the Energized Terrordog. Let's wait no longer and get this guy opened up, and we will get a closer look at the 2 Minimates. So stay tuned, guys. Well, I gotta say, there is nothing cuter than a boy and his dog. Except the only difference here is this dog would rip you limb from limb. Brother, you don't want a dog like this. Woof. Let's get a closer look now at the Minimates. First things first, we'll look at Peter Venkman. We'll just move the Terrordog out of the way here. And if you've watched my review, of the Series 1 4-pack, consisting of the Egon, the Peter, Dana, and Lewis Scully. Basically, this is the exact same Peter Venkman. The exact same. And I know I just said Scully. What I really meant to say was Lewis Tully. Lewis Tully. But needless to say, as you can see, I'll bring him in right now. I tell you, the world would be perfect if we had all these Bill Murrays in the world. At least one of them I would hope would do Ghostbusters 3, but needless to say. But as you can see, it's the exact same Peter Venkman. There is absolutely nothing different between the two. So, if you were unable to pick up the 4-pack, Series 1 4-pack that consisted of this Peter, you at least get a second chance with this 2-pack. As with the other Peter Venkman, the articulation is the exact same, so you have articulation in the arms, you can bend the Minimates at the elbows, you can turn at the hands, and you can rotate the head. Now the only problem with Minimates that tend to have hair is when you want to turn the head, you kind of have to hold on to the face, because obviously if you grab from the top, you're going to have this toupee moving all over the place on you. But they've got bendable waists. You can bend at the knees, and you can rotate their feet. Now, as I had mentioned, my problems with these Ghostbuster Minimates are the exact same with this 2-pack as they were with the 4-pack. And that is that, unfortunately, as you can see, you can't take the backpack off. The backpack is molded to this upper torso area. In order to get this backpack off, you would actually have to take the head off, and I think you guys can see it. You actually would have to take off his whole torso. Underneath, you'd have a black t-shirt, which would be fine. Unfortunately, though, you would still have the sleeves from the uniform. so it would look a little silly. But there you have Peter Venkman. Quite a likable little fellow this guy is. Actually, all the Ghostbusters I find are very likable. And I know I already probably touched base on it in my other review, but as you can see, the proton wand you can remove and put in his hand. Just the same as the other ones. Very, very nice. Now his one accessory, which also carries over from the 4-pack, is you can actually get a proton stream. And it's just a matter of clipping it on to the proton wand, and as you can see, Pete's got guns a-blazing. He's going to zap that ghost. But I'm sure this is feeling like deja vu because I've already touched base on all this with the 4-pack. But if you haven't watched the 4-pack review, there you go. So there's Peter Venkman in all his wondrous splendor. We'll put him aside. Whether he will stand or not will be another. Maybe we'll just get him to sit. No, he's going to take a nap. There we go. Before we actually look at the Terrordog, I don't believe one thing I covered on was the booklet that these Minimates do come with. And they're actually rather nice. As you can see, the Series 1 box set, consisting of the 4 characters I had mentioned earlier. The box set Series 2, which has the other 2 Ghostbusters in their Ghostbuster attire, along with Stay Puft and Gozer. And then we have Slimed Peter Venkman and Slimer. Now this is actually a see-through Slimer, it's translucent, whereas the other Slimer in this set is more of a matte, it's opaque, you can't see through it. Then you have the Stay Puft Bank and Angry Stay Puft Figure Bank. So you can either have Happy Stay Puft, Angry Stay Puft. And then on the back, and just basically a Slimer figure bank you can get, and a Ghostbusters logo bank, as well as an Ecto-1 license plate. I'm doing this in this review, but I won't touch base on this booklet with every single review because that would be monotonous. So we'll move that aside. Now we can look at the Terrordog, and the Terrordog is the exact same mold as the Terrordog from the 4-pack. And if you've seen my review of the 4-pack, you know what a horrible experience I had trying to get all the Terrordog parts. I think a lot of people probably remember this part here. But trying to get those off of Louis Tully. So ultimately what I just ended up doing was I left all these parts off Louis Tully, and I probably will end up just putting these Terrordog parts on a Minimate that I probably don't care for all that much, so at least I can make use of these parts. But as you can see, it's the exact same mold. The only difference is, of course, they've made this more of a clear color. And as you can see, there's like little blue electricity running through the dog. But its articulation is you have articulated legs with knees, as you can see, articulated front legs as well. You can rotate the head. And you can pretty much rotate the waist. Now, very similar to the other Terrordog, had you taken off all these parts, you'll see that underneath it's just a basic Minimate head and a Minimate skeleton underneath this. So there's absolutely no point in taking this off. So I'll just put it back on. So there you have the 2-pack Minimates featuring both Peter Venkman and the Terrordog. Great addition if you already have the other Minimates. The only downside, unfortunately, again, is the fact that you're getting the exact same Peter. But you know what? That's fine, because if I find a head that looks like me, and maybe the same hair, maybe I'll just swap this out, and perhaps will I be the 5th Ghostbuster? I don't know. But there we had a spooky spot on the Minimates, Dr. Peter Venkman, and Energized Terrordog. And I'll see you guys next time. Woo!